Okay, so I'm live here. I'm having a lot of fun doing this. Oh, great. I want to share to a group. Yes. And hopefully it will show up in here. Aha, good. Great. Okay. And is it sharing? Hopefully it's sharing. I don't know. I shared to a group. Oh, let's see what happens here. This is so much fun. I am so not techie. And yeah, I'm using my hand because the lighting is just so bad and a lot of issues here. So anyways, to get with this, I want to talk a bit about, yeah, creating a daily success ritual. Okay. Yeah, just starting that. And this is key, you know, we need to sell ourselves on a daily basis. All right. I got this from Dean Graziosi, and it's so true. Every day we need to do a sales job on ourselves, that we can win, that we can do it, that we can attain these goals. All right. And so in order to do that, we need to put in place, you know, what often are called success rituals, daily success rituals. And so I'm just going to highlight a few things that I think are important. And first off, I want to put it all in a bit of a framework here, where I see ourselves as sort of this being here that's between heaven and earth. And we are the channel through which heaven can manifest on earth. All right. That is the divine will, the divine purpose, who we're all meant to be, and what life is meant to be. I mean, why we're even here. We are meant to be channels of divine presence, divine blessing to this world, representing the will of God, in a sense, to promote goodness and creativity, to bring healing, to bring empowerment, to bring guidance, to all around. It's life enhancing, to create beauty. All these things, you know, is what our mission and calling is. We are meant to be the hands of spirit on earth, all right? We are meant to be the heart of spirit on earth, the voice of spirit on earth. You know, there's that one beautiful song that, you know, has those words, lyrics in it, and that's exactly what it's all about. And so here we are the vessel that connects heaven and earth. This is the greatness of the human being. This is what the Gnostics would say. This is what makes us even greater than the angels, is that we can encompass and embody both worlds, the physical and the spiritual, all right? We're not just limited to the heavenlies, nor just limited to the physical, the way animals are. We encompass both realms. And therein lies our greatness, and therein lies our calling and our mission. Now, having said that, okay, in terms of just a context and framework, so what should be a part of our daily success ritual? Well, first thing in the morning, or I shouldn't even say in the morning, when you're still in bed, when you're just waking up, okay, just tune in. You know, what were the dreams I was having last night? You know, before you shift that dreamlike consciousness, right, where you're in a very receptive state to spiritual input, all right, because you're in that relaxed, you know, theta state is what you've come out. Well, delta, theta, going into, you know, alpha and then beta. But in those deeper relaxed states, that is when we're receptive to spiritual input. And that's why across the world, everywhere in all cultures, it's believed that the gods can speak to you through your dreams. So we need to tune in to what sort of dreams were happening. Is there any kind of imprint? Because I've often had where I'll just get a certain image, and it could be of a certain animal, and I would look up the symbolism of that as a sign, as a token, as an omen, as a power animal, just to see what is the message. How is it that, you know, the divine is wanting to empower me in a certain area in my life, right? So you want to tune in to that and bring that into conscious awareness, because as soon as you start waking up more, it's like the door shuts and you've totally forgotten what was coming in to you. All right, it's like a door has closed and the wall is there, and it's hard to get back in. So you want to bring in with you, as you become more awake, that material into your mind. So, and then And this is great, a little thing that Joe Dispenza did, in The Secret, where he says, as you're laying in bed, visualize the day ahead. Live with purpose and intention. What do you want to see happen in that day? What are your plans for that day? And then see them unfolding successfully for yourself, all right? Do that, and do that in a prayerful way where you're calling upon, this higher intelligence to empower you in the day to bring to success what the intentions are for that day, all right? So that's all even before you get up, ideally, right? You try to have that focus and intent, and also to choose to have positive expectations, to choose. All right, and this is the thing. A lot of times we have to choose to have hope, to be positive, to go forward in the day in a positive way instead of just, by default, maybe being in a negative state. All right, so I want to do that. Then, let me just have a little sip here. Then, when you do get up, you get up and do your whatever you do, and again, I want to be flexible with this because everybody has a different kind of lifestyle and time frame and what all goes on in their life, all right? But the first aspect of this is we want to tune in more deeply to the spiritual. And that's where we want to spend some time journaling, right? And maybe right off the bat, writing down anything that's come to us while we were sleeping, anything that happened at night, dreams that we've had, we want to journal them. And any kind of reflections that we have in terms of what's going on in our life, right? So there's all kinds of things you can do in terms of journaling. Yeah, hi, BB. And so then in the journaling though as well, I really got this from Gina Gabellini, where she calls it create your evidence log. You want to look for evidence in your life of abundance, of blessings, of divine guidance. You want to look for signs, right? Of divine presence, guidance, blessings, abundance, all that is good. You want to capture that. And you make note of them with gratitude. And so this is where, a lot of people talk about a gratitude journal. So this is where the gratitude comes in. But you need to look for it, all right? And claim them, own them, have faith, believe that, say, thank you for this abundance in my life. Thank you for this guidance. Thank you for this empowerment. Thank you that your hand is upon my life, all right? So you need to claim it and own it and write that down in your journal as a type of evidence log is what she calls it. And that's also could be the gratitude journal that a lot of people talk about. Then also write down your future expectations in a positive way. Your dreams, your goals, as though, with gratitude, thank you for, and you write out your future life of your dreams coming into fulfillment, right? And this will bring your goals back into focus in your face. Because I'm sure you've had it, and I know this is what I struggled with, is, you'll have goals and then you'll forget about them. You'll write them down one day and ta-da, that piece of paper gets shuffled under a pile of other papers and it gets lost and forgotten, right? So we need to put it in our face every day. And we do that by writing. And even in writing it down, we're making it more tangible, concrete, we're claiming it. That physical action is a way of bringing it out of the ethers into this material world. And this is what the whole process, that's why I said in the beginning, I see the self as between heaven and earth. And we need to receive the spiritual and we anchor it and make it physical. And it happens through us. We are the conduit through which this happens, all right? We need to materialize the spiritual. That is our mission, our calling, our purpose. So that's why it begins even with writing, right? Writing is so important, a way of anchoring it physically. So, so you write out your dreams, your goals, all right, and you take a look at them and you have intent and you're clear on what it is that you need to do today. You've got prioritized what your tasks are for today that you need to do that's going to be a part of that strategy to actualize those goals. And so you get clear on that, you focus on that, excuse me, and you decide and commit to be doing that today, all right? So that's step one, is this kind of tuning in and starting to anchor here through journaling. Then you'd move into, and here again, there's flexibility in terms of where you're at. sometimes there could be, issues, emotional issues that you need to process right away. So that right away you might go into prayer, meditation, some tapping, okay, releasing of any kind of blocks, issues, discouragement, whatever it is, to do some processing of releasing it through tapping, praying, shifting from the negative to the positive. Okay, so some form of meditation, prayer, and I always like to include tapping with that. I kind of integrate the three, some sort of a processing routine. Okay, then you need to have some positive input of spiritual reading, inspirational reading, books on spirituality, perhaps the scriptures, perhaps whatever it is that inspires you. You need to get some spiritually positive input coming in. Okay, otherwise the input we get is from this world, and a lot of it is negative, a lot of it is crap, a lot of it it'll pull you down, a lot of it is disinformation. We need to direct our consciousness and put in place channels that are going to be good and positive for input coming into us, and that's why it's important to every day have that positive input, spiritual input. Okay, so you need to have some time of reading and growing and learning and getting that input. Okay, so that's why a lot of people, you've probably heard some of the big names. They call it your hour power, your hour of power. 20 minutes meditation, 20 minutes inspirational reading, 20 minutes planning, visualization, or whatever it is that you want to put it together. But it is important to every day have some spiritual input in a positive way in terms of reading. Okay, learning in some way. All right, so you'll have that as a component coming in. Then you tune into those goals, you plan the day, and you're getting in alignment with your intentions. You make sure you're cleared of any blocks. You know where you're going. You've got that alignment happening from heaven to you into earth. There's an alignment. And then, boom, you step into action. You go and do what needs to be done for the day. All right. And that is then how you bring in the spiritual through you and bring it into this world. And you're fulfilling your mission, your calling, your purpose in life. All right. Yeah, and so let me just see here. I'm just making some notes. So you decide and take action, all right, in terms of your plans. Now, let me just have another little sip here. You can see I have this Santa Claus mug that's really big because I like my first coffee in the morning to be a big cup of coffee because the first cup is always the best cup. I make it a big cup. Now also, really, I think a really important thing to do to really make it more concrete, and you can probably see here, I have back here a little bit of a vision board, is daily visualizations, right? And so a really handy way of doing this, and again, there's so many ways you can do this, but one way I like from Jack Canfield, what he says is he'll have a little index card, and on one side of the card, you write down what your goal is. On the back side, you have an affirmation that goes along with that goal, affirming that it's in process, that I am this and that, and am doing, okay, not will, because will is future intention. I want to make it in the present and start owning it. And then along with, seeing the goal, reading the affirmation, then spending just even a couple of minutes visualizing it coming into completion. Visualize seeing yourself doing it. And as I'm sure hey, Lewis, hey, good to see you. As I'm sure you've heard it, that the subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between an imagination, what you image in your mind, and actual physical fact. And it's just fascinating, the studies they've done. They've done it with basketball players, people they've given fake surgeries to, right? And athletes galore and whatnot, that if you just visualize, imagine you're doing it. You imagine a certain reality, right? And you get that imprinted in your subconscious. Your subconscious takes it as fact, as an established fact. All right. And then it's going to support you in realizing that. So it's so important to work with visualization and imagining things, right? So you need to imagine that success and see it come into fruition, see yourself doing it. All right. See yourself completing it. See yourself attaining that goal. And with that, and this is the key thing, and I've talked about it in past videos here, how you need to, that helps you to shift your sense of identity, because one of our biggest obstacles is what we're actually believing and feeling about ourselves. Feeling that, well, I'm not there, I haven't done that, I haven't ever succeeded at this, and my sense of identity is that I'm just not there. I'm not one of those people to do it, I haven't done it. And so our sense of identity holds us back from attaining the goal. All right. And in order to shift our identity to be in alignment with our goals and dreams, we do that through visualization, where we see ourselves and therefore experience ourselves actualizing it and doing it. And as we do that, that gets imprinted energetically, all right, into our bodies, into our then emotional patterns, behavior patterns, our thinking patterns. That starts to get embedded, and our identity and sense of self will start to shift, and we'll then find ourselves thinking differently, acting differently, and we will then start to take action that is in alignment with those goals. All right. And therein lies the power of visualization. We need to shift energetically who we are and what we believe and think about ourselves. And this is why, as I talked about yesterday, I think it was, wasn't it? With tapping, with using tapping as a technique, that starts to shift that energetic pattern that we've got put in place, all right, through our past history, our past experiences, our upbringing, our conditioning, social conditioning, maybe our cultural background, how we were raised, the family we came from, what our parents told us, what we were told in school, what our friends told us, negative experiences that we've had in life, all these things that have limited us and put in place this energetic pattern that, I'm just down here, all right? And then we tend to, that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. This is who we believe we are. We continue to act according to what we were, all right? And so then we get stuck in our past. And hey, Taylor, good to see you here. Thanks for coming. And as we are so stuck in our past, as I mentioned, those energetic patterns determine and dictate our future. And then, ta-da, we're stuck. We're stuck in our yesterdays. And it's like Groundhog Day, the yesterdays keep repeating, and tomorrow's the same as yesterday. This year is going to be the same as last year. The next 10 years are going to be the same as the last 10 years, right? And there's this repetitive cycle that goes on, and we're stuck. And it's really sad, right? It's really sad. But it can change, all right? It can change. And so, in case some of you didn't watch the past videos, do watch them, all right? Because there's a lot of good stuff in there, okay? In terms of how to shift that, and especially through tapping is a huge technique that I use. And sorry, I'm holding my phone today because things didn't work for me. Anyway, so as I was saying, yes, for daily success rituals, visualization is a key thing, because we do need to shift our sense of identity along with we've got the goals, we've got the strategies and an action plan of attaining those goals, we've got the process for how to get there, but then ta-da, it has to happen through me. And what often holds us back is at a subconscious level what we're actually believing about ourselves, and we're stuck in our old behavior patterns, emotional patterns, thought patterns, and they're all tied in with an old sense of identity of who we believe we are. And we end up being our biggest limiter, all right? We will hold ourselves back subconsciously, and we often don't even realize it. So this is where we need to do the processing, clearing, and shifting, and we do it by, first of all, having that positive intention of what we want to go for. And we need to convince ourselves it's possible, right? As I said earlier, we have to sell ourselves on our dreams. We have to sell ourselves on ourselves, that we can do it. And our sense of identity, we need to shift it, we need to own it, we need to claim a new identity for ourselves as someone who can do it, can pull it off. All right. So it's so important to deal with your sense of identity. Hey, Godfrey, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Do catch the beginning in the replay, okay? Or when it's posted, and because I said a lot. And do catch the previous ones that I shared here. I think I don't know where you're seeing me, if it's on my personal line or the Facebook group. I'm still not very good at this techie stuff, okay, in terms of how to share it and posting it and all that. Anyway, so daily success rituals are key. All right. This is where the rubber hits the road. This is where the rubber hits the road, where the dreams, where they're going to happen, is what are we going to do on a day-to-day basis? It's those everyday actions that make it happen. And this is where, the tortoise and the hare, the rabbit and the turtle kind of race thing, right? The rabbit is scattered. The rabbit goes all over the place. It's distracted. It goes here, it goes there, but it's super fast, but it's jumping all over the place, not getting anywhere. Whereas the turtle, is very steadfast. And there was a great little video, I'm sure I saved it somewhere, of the turtle just dip, 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 very slowly, but because it's taking little steps, but on a regular basis in the right direction, it actually gets to the destination. And that's where our daily success rituals are key to getting us to that destination. Okay, they are key. It's that consistency is the number one thing. Consistent action, all right? Consistency. And with that, and that's why I want to talk a bit more tomorrow about productivity hacks, how to be more productive, time, energy management kind of stuff. But boy, I don't know if you hear that loud truck out there. But this is where it's key to really have your power blocks of focus time. That I can schedule these in at a certain block on a consistent basis, that boom, 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 I'm making progress, I keep going forward, all right, I keep getting ahead on my goals is so key, all right, and this is it. If you get any one thing, this is the number one thing, all right, that will lead to success, okay? That's all the big boys and big girls, whatever you want to call them, the leaders in productivity and personal growth, they all say this, all right? Okay, so that is that part. Now, let me just see here. Oh, now, then just to sum up again, as I mentioned, for a bit of a recap here for some of you who came in a bit late, the model that I like to work with is that here I am. I'm the channel, the conduit between heaven and earth, the above and the below. And as a human being, we take that which is spiritual, that from the ethers, it gets channeled through us to then materialize in this physical world, right? We are the channel through which it is meant to happen, where the invisible becomes visible, the dreams become a reality. And so we need to work with that principle by working with the imaginal realm, the world of thought, ideas, and inspiration and creativity, and fundamentally spiritually, with connecting with the higher divine intelligence, receiving input, all right, in various ways. It could come through dreams, could come through messages, signals coming in this world. Input comes through spiritual kind of reading, personal growth, inspirational reading. We need that positive spiritual input and tune into it. Practices to tune into it, to tune into your dreams, to be aware of those signs and signals and messages, and then to anchor them through journaling. All right, tuning in and anchoring in. And that's why you need journaling techniques, some meditation, prayer techniques, regular spiritual reading and growth kind of techniques, okay, to kind of get that positive spiritual input that's coming into you. Then we need a process of being empowered, released, cleared up of baggage, of garbage, of contamination, of limitations that come in through our physical experience in this world, of disappointments and failures of the past that are holding us back, of social conditioning, of having believed that, who do you think you are to do this? You're a nobody, you're not good. Only those kind of people can do these sorts of things. We've got all this kind of baggage that we need to get clear of. And we need to consciously choose, all right, who I decide to be, tune in what I believe is my gifting and calling in this world and purpose. And do see previous videos where I talk a bit about that, okay? And that I'm going to claim those and activate them. I'm going to activate my worth. I'm going to claim it. I'm going to claim my unique ability, the gift that only I can bring. Remember, I talked the other day about like having a puzzle, and that each little piece, can only fit in that one spot. And you and I, as individuals, only we can do what we can do. We alone can only fit that one spot. All right. Nobody else can take our place. Nobody else can do what we are called to do uniquely. And we're part of a larger ecosystem by divine design. And we're meant to fulfill that. And how do we know what that is? It's going to be in our soul, it's in our DNA, in our spiritual DNA. And that will show up in our desires, our passions, our interests. It's like, I kind of get excited about this. I like this, all right? You'll have a desire to do it. You may find that you'll have a gift or a talent for that, right? And that will show up, right? And these are all then signs that this is your unique ability. This is your gift. This is your calling. This is what you're meant to bring into the world, all right? So tune into that. That's why it's so important to tune in, right? And to clear those obstacles and then have in place, this is where those daily success rituals, it's rituals of tuning in to that spiritual input, okay? And then being able to put into this world and activate and go into action to make those dreams come true, to fulfill that purpose, to make it happen, all right? And that's where journaling is the beginning of anchoring it, making it physical, designing your strategy, your success plan for the next 90 days is starting to make it physical. Looking at it every day is making it physical. When you lay in bed in the morning and visualize you're doing what you need to do for that day, every day is starting to make it physical, okay? All these things are really key to making it happen, all right? So again, do catch the beginning because, I'm almost, I don't know, I think I'm half an hour in or so almost. Now, last thing in terms of daily success rituals, besides these key things that I had mentioned all earlier, you also want to focus a little bit on how you end the day. Okay, and I would like to encourage you to a couple of things. Take a bit of time before bed is always good to do some stretching. And as you're stretching, do it as a releasing of anything that kind of was frustrating about the day, negative about the day, a little bit disappointing about the day. Just a releasing of the negatives, all right? And then also as a stretching, time of gratitude for the wins of the day, the good things of the day, all right? And I don't know, I just like to kind of combine, something physical with the spiritual because it kind of anchors the spiritual more. And then stretching is always good for you. Just doing a bit of stretching, just find a little YouTube video of 10 minutes that you can follow along. All right, just to do some stretching and release the negs and anchor the wins, all right? With gratitude, thank you for this good. Thank you, this got done. Yes, this happened. Yes, this was good. Claim the good, okay? And claim your wins of the day. Claim your wins and anchor those wins. And a key thing too, because I talked earlier about shifting your identity, with claiming the wins, bring them into your heart and affirm yourself. One of the biggest things, and I've heard big names talk about this, and I believe it because I know I've struggled with this, is our lack of sense of self-value, all right? Our low sense of self-worth. We tend to undermine ourselves big time. We dismiss who we are, all right? And we need to, with effort and conscious effort and focus, affirm our value on a daily basis, right? And say, yes, I did this today. This is a win. Good for me. It doesn't have to be an ego trip. It's not meant to be, but you need to affirm your wins, affirm your value, all right? And as you do that, that will build up your confidence, all right? And that confidence will encourage you to take the next step forward, to keep up the momentum. Because yes, I am progressing. I am winning. Instead of like, oh no, I'm not. I'm just losing. Oh, it's just all negative all over again. Oh, I failed again. Why even bother? I just keep failing. Huh? You have a negative spiral that kicks in. And you need to reverse it and make it a positive spiral going upward. A positive spiral of your wins, of your successes, that you're moving forward, that you're making progress, all right? So your confidence builds. You need to put in place a positive spiral, all right? doing. And you need to claim that for yourself. This is where I love the phrase quantum warrior. We've got to claim it. We've got to be warriors in our lives, to own our goodness, to own our worth, to own our value, to commit to bringing it to this world, to tap into the superpowers that I believe we all have as spiritual beings here on earth. Okay, we can do this, and we need to work with these techniques. If it's tapping and visualization, declarations and decrees. I think it was yesterday I talked about it. Can't remember when I said what, because I said all kinds of things. So do take in the past videos. But yes, there's power through the word. And again, I want to emphasize that earlier I was talking about, I think I did, didn't I? Yes, I did. From Jack Canfield, when you have a little index card where you put your goals on one side and affirmation on the other side, speak it out. It is so important to verbalize, and even verbalize. Stand up when you say it. Don't just say it in a weak way. Claim it, own it, embody it. All right. We need to embody the truth, embody our value, speak it forth, declare it to the world, declare it to the universe. All right. Own our power. I tell you. Sometimes it's, I kind of wonder, I hope neighbors don't hear me. I don't know if they do or not. But there are times, boy, when I make a lot of noise. And I have my own way of doing things, and I don't even know if I could ever teach what I do, because I just have my own way of doing things. And I kind of have a philosophy of being led from within. And I do think that as I study different traditions, that this is where they come from. It's just following that energy being led from within spiritually. And I'll just go around and I'll make noises and I'll just bellow out loud and say things and do things, to own my space, to own my life spiritually. All right. I think it's so important that we own our spiritual authority. We have amazing spiritual authority potentially there for us, but we need to own it. And also in working with energy, I find it like in terms of Taoism, when I go into a certain kind of meditation, I naturally kind of go into the beginnings of Tai Chi moves. And it just happens spontaneously. Same thing, with shamanism. Eons ago, I just did kind of like a flow meditation. It just spontaneously became a shamanic journey, and I didn't even know anything about shamanism. I didn't even know. I went through a portal. I had, I had a power animal, all kinds of different things. Like, wow. So many things like that have happened in my life that I just, that's why I'm so adamant, and maybe, I don't know if you'd call me a spiritual fundamentalist, I don't know, but I so believe in these spiritual realities. And that that the origins of religion is rooted in human experience, because this stuff is real. And the thing is, it gets me is that, in terms of religions as such, it gets institutionalized, and the institutionalization of a lot of this stuff kills it a lot of times, just kills it. And it's really too bad, we need to kind of undo some of those packages and get back at the raw essence and the spiritual experience of these things, because it's powerful. It's very powerful, all right? Yeah. So anyway, I could babble on here because I just get on fire once I get talking about this stuff. I just love it. So anywho, where on earth was I? Yes, talking about ending the day and, stretching, and with that stretching, releasing of the negatives and anchoring the wins, okay? And we need to do that. We need to claim the good, affirm our value, own our day, all right? Turn them into spiritual assets. All right, turn the day into a spiritual asset that we're offering to the world. And it's also our treasure house, you see, so that, when we pass on, and as well, not just even pass on, as we grow in life, as we continue our journey in life, we're enriching ourselves. We're creating spiritual treasures for ourselves while we're here on earth, by how we grow and who we all become and what we all do. We're creating spiritual treasures so that you can feel like, I am the richest person on this planet, and to feel that I wouldn't trade who I am for anybody or anything on this planet. I'm a multi-billionaire because I feel so rich because of, my spiritual growth. my spiritual growth. That's the thing. And that is the true source of abundance, the nature of abundance. So that really, you feel so rich, you don't even need anything. I mean, yes, we do need things in a practical way. We need food, we need a house and all that kind of stuff to live and a roof over our heads or whatever. But you've got something inside that nobody and nothing can steal from you. Nothing. All right. And that's amazing. That's the greatest gift that we can have. And that's when I think truly you've succeeded in life, is when you feel that you've got those spiritual treasures, right? And those spiritual treasures you can take with you as you continue on the journey on the other side, right? So that's the key. That's the key to it all. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate that. And do, again, to sum up daily success rituals, we need to bring in the spiritual and anchor it in the physical. All right, my hair's falling apart here. We do this through various means, and just, I don't know, a shallow recap really, because I don't want to repeat it all. But to tune into your dreams from the night while you're still in bed, okay, because we're receptive to things spiritually while we're sleeping. Just to tune in and bring that into our consciousness, all right? Instead of just waking up and, the door just shuts down and we forget what was going on in our psyche while we're dreaming. But you want to bring that into consciousness. And also while you're still in that relaxed state, this is when you should do your visualizations, okay? Because visualizations, they really get embedded in the subconscious when you're more in the alpha state, all right? This deeper relaxed state as opposed to the beta state when you're really active in the world, active, busy in your day-to-day life. And think, oh yeah, I'm going to visualize now. And you're kind of in this hyped up beta state. You need to always slow down and get more into the alpha wave state. Okay, in a relaxed state where you get into when you start meditating and just start daydreaming, kind of relaxed state. That's when you should do your visualizations, all right? And even better is if you go even deeper into a theta state. That's when you can do healing work largely, all right? That's where a lot of healing work takes place. Anyway, so while you're still in bed, bring in those dreams, visualize your day of what you want to do, because you planned, I don't think I mentioned that. You need to plan your day the night before is the best thing to do. That before you go to bed, okay, lay out and get set up. What is it that I want to do today? What are my key goals, my key objectives to get done tomorrow? And lay that out, get that set up for yourself. I'm going to talk about that more tomorrow, okay? For productivity hacks. That's key. And then you're ready. You're ready at the gate to launch it in the morning. So review, think of this is what I want to do today. Visualize what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. Just see it happening. See it come to completion with success, okay? Visualize it ahead. Have that positive expectancy, all right? And all that before you even get up. And then journal. Write down anything that came to you for insights, inspirations. I get a lot of ideas while I'm laying in bed. I'll kind of start giving a little lecture in my mind. I think, I got to write down, that's a good idea. And I tell you, I kick myself when I don't, because it's gone. I forget it so fast. So you need to do a bit of journaling time, evidence log, look for signs of abundance, look for answers to your prayers, look for divine guidance, okay, and anchor it and say with gratitude in your journal. Give thanks for the abundance, for the goodness, for the guidance, all that's coming into your life. Write it all down. And then rewrite your goals that you have coming up. Write your future that you want for yourself, all right? Engage that with writing as well as visualizing. Then you can review your goals and speak them forth with affirmations and visualize them. Spend a time doing that, okay? So that you got that journaling type kind of thing, input. Then some inspirational reading is so important. As I mentioned earlier, you need that positive input, because otherwise it's just a lot of garbage that gets inputted from this world, all right? You need some positive spiritual input. So you need some spiritual reading, personal growth, whatever inspires you that lifts you up spiritually. You need that positive input. Then spend some time in prayer, meditation, tapping to clear out anything that's holding you back and to anchor in and affirm the positive. Ask for guidance. Get the empowerment and healing that you need, all right? Ask for healing. Ask to be lifted up. Ask for inspiration. Ask and you shall receive. That's why I really say you have to pray. I'm a real prayer. And, meditation gets so emphasized these days. And at the neglect of prayer is extremely important. I think it's number one importance, okay? And then meditation's number two. But anyways, pray. what on earth did they all say here? So then you have that time, and then you're aligned energetically. You're aligned with the spiritual. You're focused. You're clear, ready to get into action, and then you go out and do. You decide, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm going to start doing and work on these goals and do whatever it is that you designed to do. Okay, so that's the key thing here is your daily success ritual. Hopefully you took some notes and this makes some sense. And and I hope you found this of some benefit for your life. And again, I like to emphasize, if you want to, do please watch the past videos. A lot of material I gave out in those. And if you want to sign up to get some handouts and things, I will be posting underneath this live today a link where you can then get some handouts I have for you. Okay, all right, so thank you so much for sharing. Please let me know if you like this. Let me know if you have any questions, anything you want me to maybe talk about. Please feel free to share this with any of your friends or whoever. And thank you, and I wish you a wonderful day, lots of success, happy new year again, and all the best to all of you. And see you tomorrow. If you want to join me here again live tomorrow around 11 o'clock, I'll be here to talk about productivity. Okay, some productivity hacks. All right, so blessings to you all. Bye-bye.